This is New York State Supreme Court Justice Mark Grisanti. He was just in a fist fight with his neighbors in the streets.
Judge Mark Grisanti and his wife are now under investigation for this alleged neighborhood assault. The brawl was all caught on camera and then shared exclusively with the 7 Eyewitness News I-Team.
Then when the cops come, he's fighting with the cops.
And then the judge yells and puts his hands on an officer.
The judge, he would hope he'd go back in time, this wouldn't have happened.
Then after all that, he starts name dropping other cops, the mayor and the DA, to show that, hey, I'm a big deal.
Okay, let me give you some constructive criticism. You want to drop another cop's name? You want to scream about, Molly or the mayor? Why don't you shut the up? And you keep that quiet. Shut your goddamn mouth. Put your hands behind your back. Listen. Put your hands behind your back. You want to be difficult? You want to say I know all these coppers, I know all these things? No, you want to make us look dirty? Is that what you want to do? So how am I helping you now? Tell me, how can I help you? Shut up and let me talk to you, you old geezer. Shut up and let me talk to you. Since you had so much to say and you touch a cop. So let me talk to you. Okay. God, let me talk to you. God.
As you guys can see, this is a crazy story. So here is Mark Grisanti. He's a former state senator, and now he's a Supreme Court Justice of the state of New York, appointed by Andrew Cuomo. Now, on June 23rd, 2020, Mark Grisanti and his wife confronted some neighbors that lived across the street. They were complaining that the neighbors had parked in their driveway. Now, Mark Grisanti and his wife went over to confront the neighbors about the parking violation. But things escalated pretty quickly, as you can see from the Ring camera footage.
The fight between State Supreme Court Justice Mark Grisanti, his wife, and two neighbors started because of a disagreement over this parking space in front of the Grisanti's North Buffalo home.
They started to scream across the street about, move this effing truck. This effing truck is in our driveway. My sister's truck was legally parked. It was not in their driveway whatsoever.
All right, since the camera is staring right there at the driveway with the car allegedly parked in front of it, we can check to see if that's even accurate. Here's the car, here's the driveway, and here's the judge and his wife. It doesn't seem like that truck is parked in front of that driveway.
That's when Gina Malley, who lives across the street, saw the couple walking toward her house.
And Mark and Maria came over onto our property, into our driveway. My husband came down from the porch. Maria physically pushed my husband. She punched my husband in the face. I came off the porch, told her not to touch my husband, and she bit my husband's arm and would not release.
Malley's husband Joseph has the bruises to prove it. A black eye and bite marks. Malley has her own bruise where she says Maria Grisanti grabbed her.
Her and Mark were very, very intoxicated.
So police get called to the scene, and when police get there, Mark Grisanti and his wife are furious and eventually have to be restrained by the police.
Ma'am, if you don't stop yelling, this is going to be a problem for you.
I don't care.
Okay, cool. Then get over here.
You're not going to arrest me.
I sure fucking am.
My son, no. You're not.
We are not doing this right now. We are not doing this.
So, in case you haven't noticed, this is our judge, and he's about to assault two officers trying to make this arrest.
No, it's
Push
okay.
it, motherfucker.
You better get off the fucking
Let him arrest me. I don't care.
Go.
Come on, take
You're
me.
going in the back of the car
I
until
will.
we can deal with this.
No, you have no idea the shit that we
Okay.
can't put up with.
Okay, put your hands behind your back or we are going to have a problem. Put your hands behind your back.
Hey!
No.
You arrest my fucking wife, you're gonna be sorry.
So now we got an interesting situation going on here. We got a state Supreme Court justice wrestling with cops and beating up his neighbors, all caught on camera. Then the judge starts dropping the big names. He knows the mayor. He knows other cops. Hey, he even knows the police chief. And that's when the cops get angry.
She was screaming
No,
in my
my
face.
daughter's a police officer, and I know what you guys are going through right now. And trust me, my daughter's a police officer, my son-in-law's a police officer, my brother, my
Okay, and if someone was
son's
screaming at your
a
daughter and
firefighter.
approaching her like that, she would have done the same thing.
No, you grabbed my wife from over there and dragged her over here, which was not necessary.
Okay.
So you need to chill out about that. I'm
Well, I have a
giving-
camera, so that
I'm giving you
it's all
constructive.
documented.
I don't care about your camera. Just give you a little constructive criticism, dude.
Okay.
Okay. Let me give you some constructive criticism. You want to drop another copper's name? You want to scream about Molly or the mayor? Why don't you shut the up? And you keep that quiet. Shut your goddamn mouth. Put your hands behind your back. Listen. Put your hands behind your back. You want to be difficult? You wanna say I know all these coppers, I know all these things? You wanna make us look dirty? Is that what you wanna do? So how am I helping you now? Tell me, how can I help you? Shut up and let me talk to you, you old geezer. Shut up and let me talk to you. Since you had so much to say and you touch a cop. So let me talk to you. Okay. God, let me talk to you. Guy! Quiet! No, you're not done talking yet.
So now the judge and his wife are both in handcuffs in the back of patrol cars. But the story doesn't end there. See, then the cops interrogate the judge about what had happened. First, the cops allow the judge to speak to his attorney over the speakerphone and listen to what the judge tells his lawyers.
Okay, I'm sorry. The Bluetooth is on. Here we go. Speaker. Okay, so there. One more try.
Hey, Mark. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Alright. They're saying that you pushed an officer. You wouldn't do that, would you?
You know what? He dragged Maria. When the two girls were on Maria, he was dragging Maria across the street and actually was taking her down on my front lawn. And I basically said, listen, just talk to her. And I pushed him. And I said, don't friggin' tackle her. And I pushed him. I apologized to him, Mark, right after that, because I said, listen, I respect you guys in law enforcement. You know, I go, my daughter's a police officer, my son-in-law's a police officer, all my family's police officers. I never mentioned Byron Brown's name. What we said is that the guy across the street parks the vehicle, which is a Byron Brown-owned vehicle, like he blocks driveways, and they did it with all 4 cars tonight.
So after the judge talks to his lawyer, then he's interviewed by officers.
So he's behind her. She's here, he's behind her. I put my arm out on his, and I shouldn't have done this, but I put my arm out on his shoulder, holding him back as I'm grabbing her by the arm, saying, I got her, she can come with me. He's like, no, she's going, she's in handcuffs. I says, this is improper, and I'm pushing him like this, and I'm trying to get her. And another officer came over and said, let him do his job. He got her in handcuffs. When he did that, she calmed down. I said to him, listen, my daughter's a police officer, my son-in-law's a police officer. I said, I respect police. I should put my hands on you. I said, but it wasn't proper, like how you were trying to take her down. She's like 4 foot nothing. I said, so they made me put my hands on her. He was fine with it. Another officer came over, heard what I did. He says, you touched a police officer, and then put the cuffs on me. No, what I apologized to is the, kind of stopping the officer from doing what he had to do. But, so I'm trying to sweep the legs of her, and she's got problems with her neck and back, or her neck and back. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I got her. I'll take her in the house. By that time, we had the cuffs on. But we were cool. Everyone was cool. And then he mentioned to someone, to another officer that came, what happened. So you put her in our officer. I said, listen, I already apologized, told him immediately, was you need to shut the fuck up, because, I'm talking right now.
That can be viewed as obstruction. We're there to perform our duties, and when someone tries to stop us from doing that.
I get it. I get it. That's why I apologized to him and let him do what he had to do.
So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this is America. That judge was charged with the crime. He assaulted 3 people. This is obviously unacceptable. But the DA said he saw no crimes on those videos. So the judge wasn't charged. Here is the DA explaining it.
I'm Scott Levin. The judge in question here is State Supreme Court Judge Mark Grisanti, appointed to the bench by Governor Cuomo.
Did you review the body cam footage?
The body cam footage I personally didn't review, but my deputy DA reviewed it. Okay. And it clearly showed him pushing the officer. All right.
Put his hands on him.
Yeah. Now,
usually get you arrested.
Yeah, well, the officers, for whatever reason, they decided not to file charges.
Did they know who he was?
At some point, they learned who he was. Initially, they didn't know who he was, but at some point, they learned that he was a judge.
But does that play a factor in the officer saying, I don't want to press charges because that's a judge, I might have cases in front of this person?
The officers used their discretion here. They decided that no one got pushed hard, no one was knocked down, no one got hurt. They used their own discretion to decide not to press charges.
But doesn't your office have the option of filing charges anyway?
We do, but we would never override a victim in that kind of case, though. I mean, at most, it's a harassment charge. It's not even a crime.
Hey, you arrest my wife, you're going to be sorry.
That sounds like a threat.
I can't read into what the judge meant by that or what his mindset was. He said a lot of things on camera that I found troubling. Anytime anyone who is in a position of authority who spouts off and says, I know the mayor, I know the deputy commissioner, I know this person, I know that person, that's not good either.
I guess for most folks, they take a look at it and go, he's a big shot, he got off. Big shots get off. Connected people get special favors, even in the supposedly blind justice system.
I can clearly tell those folks. There's no doubt that the optic is there that a big shot got off, okay? There's no doubt about that. That optic is there, okay? But again, I have no reason to believe that there was any mindset in the officer's mind at the time and afterward that I'm going to let this guy go because he's a big shot, because he's a judge, because I may need a favor from him in the future, all right? I have no proof of that at all.
So the DA said, I'm not bringing any charges. The judge is a free man. There were no crimes committed that day. But the judge still had to deal with the Judicial Ethics Board in the state of New York. Because what the judge did was obviously unethical, threatening the cops, dropping all those names, saying, if you arrest my wife, you'll be sorry. I'm a judge, right? He's a judge. So what happened in New York State? What did the authorities do? Well, a whopping 4 years after the incident, the commission finally ruled that they should censor this judge for the conduct on that day. The judicial equivalent of a slap on the wrist.
Acting State Supreme Court Justice Mark Grisanti, the New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct, has censured Grisanti for a confrontation he had with neighbors and police in North Buffalo back in 2020. The whole thing caught on camera. The fight began with a dispute over a parking spot in front of the Grisanti home. An altercation with neighbors became physical. When police got there, Grisanti shoved an officer and told him if he arrested his wife, he would be sorry. The commission said while he displayed poor judgment, it did not find removing him from judicial office is warranted for this single incident.
Now, my question to you is simple. If you were this judge, do you think you would have been able to avoid all accountability? Absolutely no charges, don't even get arrested. You push the cop, you beat up your neighbors, you tell them that you know the mayor. I think me or you go to jail. And how come this is happening in New York? Remember that case we did last week about Sandra Dorley, the DA from upstate New York, who refused to allow cops to pull her over? If that were me or you, we'd be in jail. But she's the DA, so she has special privileges. So my question to you is, do you think the commission got it right? Should this judge have been arrested? Should he have been kicked off the bench? Now, just for clarity's sake, the judge nor his wife was charged. Even though they were handcuffed to put in the back of the police cars, they were never technically under arrest. Like always, tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. Tell me what you would do if you were on that commission. Do you think this judge should have been arrested? My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.